Tonight, a warning to Duluth drivers and where they park. This as the city cracks down and snow continues flying.
And it's another exciting edition of Thursday Night Face-Off. Kelly Hinseth will be in with all the hockey action from across the region.
And later, the Duluth Fire Department is spreading a little holiday cheer by stocking up on toys, all for a good cause.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Baki.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. The roads are starting to clear up, and now the tickets are starting to show up.
Duluth Police and Parking Services are enforcing the calendar parking rule as crews try to finish plowing the roads.
Yeah, that's right. And if you're parked on the wrong side of the road, you could see a ticket on your car the next time you go outside. CBS3's Emma Quinn has the details.
Driving around the Chester Park neighborhood, it's easy to see there's still some work to be done clearing the roads. Residents like Brady Braun have been doing their part, but it's been a headache.
It's been hard. We've had to dig ourselves our spots, which is kind of frustrating. And yeah, especially with if trash is on the next week, trash will be on our side and the cars will be on our side, so it'll be even harder because we have to leave room for the trash cans.
That means fewer places for people to park, and with the snow, there's even less room. Other residents say it's causing congestion.
There have been times when we couldn't get through, because typically on a Sunday when someone is, someone decides to switch their car over to the other side, and some people don't, and you can't really get through.
That's why Duluth parking enforcement is cracking down on people leaving their cars on the wrong side.
We've done a bit more ticketing simply because the plows need to get the work done, and we run into some public safety concerns if that doesn't happen. Folks need to get where they're going. We need to get emergency vehicles where they're needed.
Parking Services Manager Mark Bauer says after the last two storms, they were lenient on giving out tickets. But now, they just need to get the roads clear.
If somebody is parked illegally on one side of the street and somebody parks legally on the other side of the street, you have a challenge getting a snowplow through there, getting the snow removal done adequately.
Residents here, like Brady, say it makes sense.
With the snow, it's definitely more understandable.
Nate, I don't have any hard feelings about it, that's for sure, and know they're doing the best they can.
Bauer says the calendar parking rule has been in place for several decades. This week, it's on the even side.
All right, let's check in with Dave for a look at the weather. Some messiness on the roads again earlier today. Is that clearing up anytime?
You know, it actually is.
Okay.
At 6 o'clock, last time we chatted about the weather, the National Weather Service had popped up a winter weather advisory for the head of the lakes here, but since then, it's been dropped again. As the snow has retreated, those lake-influenced bands have eased up. They're still out there up around Lake County, but have moved away from the Twin Ports region. Still, folks should be cautious here tonight, and especially up that neck of the woods tomorrow night, because our next low-pressure system may do its worst for Lake County and Cook County. Folks there facing a winter storm watch for Friday night. For Friday itself, as that next low-pressure system comes to call, we start to see snow chances pop back into our picture. Warmer, high temp 21 degrees. That won't last forever. I'll talk about when the next cool down will come after the snow departs in just a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. Well, the few snowstorms over the last few weeks have left roads undoubtedly less than ideal.
Yeah, in fact, law enforcement agencies across the region have reported many crashes due to the recent weather, including a pileup just this morning.
Driving in snowy conditions can be a hassle, but there are ways that you can prepare your car to brave the elements. CBS3's Jenna Wells spoke with local auto shops about the boom in business they're seeing for the start of winter.
Everybody wants snowplows, everybody wants tires. There's absolute chaos right now.
Auto repair and tire shops are seeing steady business thanks to road conditions and winter weather. Mike Lowry with Pro Tire in Hermantown says they're averaging 30 to 35 appointments a day for snow tires.
This is pretty common around this time of the year, but due to the weather this time, I don't think anyone was expecting as much snow this early in the game, so it's been pretty intense.
Local shops say in addition to new tires, the majority of issues they've seen are mechanical problems due to cold and snow, like failing batteries, heating and cooling systems, brake changes, and coolant leaks. Mike Archer with Automatics in Duluth says these are all things drivers should look out for before hitting the roads.
We keep getting these little snow bursts and they can't get up the hills. Well, they probably haven't had their tires looked at or their car serviced, and the reality is they're riding around on tires that just frankly aren't going to work in this weather.
Archer says while you can get accessories to make driving in the snow easier, Every car is different, and it's important to know what your car can handle.
Go drive it somewhere away from people and go out on a country road and step on the brakes. You understand how long it takes you to physically stop.
Overall, the safest way to drive in the winter, if you have to drive at all, is to take it slow.
Take your time. Give yourself the extra time you need to get places. It's real important to do that. Even with a great tire, you still need to take your time getting places.
The manager of Pro Tire says getting snow and ice tires is one of the best things you can do to combat those covered roads. He says tires specifically made for snow will provide more traction than all-season or all-weather tires and make a noticeable difference.
Investigators are currently looking into what caused a school bus to go up in flames this morning on the Iron Range. Officials say crews from multiple departments were called to the fire, which was on the southbound lane of Highway 53 near Virginia, shortly after 10 o'clock this morning. The Northland Firewire says the bus, which is operated by the Virginia School District, did not have any students on board at the time of the fire. They added the bus driver was uninjured during the incident.
In their second day of heated debates, members of the House Judiciary Committee are expected to vote on the articles of impeachment against President Trump soon. Democrats and Republicans have spent the day clashing over articles of impeachment. Republicans tried for hours to change or throw out the articles, but Democrats had the votes to block their attempts. The charges in the debate: abuse of power and obstruction of Congress in connection with the president's dealings with Ukraine. The vote of the Judiciary Committee is all but certain to set up a full House vote, likely next week. At this point, Democratic leaders are confident they have the votes to make that happen.
The Duluth Salvation Army is less than halfway to their Christmas fundraising goals, and they need your help to reach it. As of Wednesday, they've raised almost $85,000. That's just 34% of their $250,000 goal. On top of that, officials say they are also behind in their toy drive. The Salvation Army needs 3,800 toys, but say they are still pretty far off from that goal as well. Weather is being blamed for the lesser number of donations made this season.
You know, with the weather, the way it's been, it's really kind of hurt our toy drive and our kettles. So even if you don't want to drop off gifts, if you can donate monetarily through our kettles, that would be amazing. We really need to push this last couple weeks.
You can donate toys up until next week, but if you'd like to sign up for a red kettle shift, you can do so online.
Hartley Nature Center received a big donation today. The money will go toward expanding programming and meeting community needs. Lal Designs donated $20,000 as part of their 1% for the Planet program. The money is for the Nature Center's Step Outside campaign. It supports the construction of an addition, which will include new classrooms and a community gathering space. As of today, the Nature Center has raised $1.8 million toward the campaign.
A fundraiser in Solon Springs happening Friday night is helping those in need this holiday season. Our own CBS3 meteorologist Austin Haskins and his dad Jack are hosting their 12th annual food drive. They're collecting food and non-perishable items which will be donated to the Gordon Food Shelf. The Gordon Food Shelf helps families in communities across southern Douglas County. A corporate sponsor is also still needed to match any donations raised. The event takes place Friday at 4:30 in the evening at the corner of Highway 53 and Nyquist Road in Solon Springs.
Still to come on Live Local CBS3, the Duluth Fire Department made a list and checked it twice. Now they're making things merry and bright for a local charity.
Record low temp is 23 degrees below zero. Hey, we finally warmed up, but of course that helped bring on the clouds and the snow, and more snow is likely for the next day and a half or so. We'll talk about that timeline, totals, and a cold snap coming aboard in just a couple more minutes.
Bring all the gifts for under the tree. And while you're at it, bring the tree. Ford F-150. Built for the holidays.
Now for a limited time, lease an F-150 for just $259 a month or get over $11,500 in total savings. Only at your Northland Ford dealers.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, Dr. Ryan Greshel describes how Essentia Health is treating acid reflux with an innovative device called the Lynx Reflux Management System, which strengthens the lower part of the esophagus.
The way we were intended to be is that at the end of our esophagus, before the stomach starts, there is increased tone in the muscle there. We call that the lower esophageal sphincter. So a normal person has some increased tone right there that can relax to allow food to go through it into your stomach, but when you're not swallowing, it's designed to stay tight so that acid from your stomach is not refluxing up into your esophagus. So the Lynx device works by adding this ring of magnetic beads around that portion of the esophagus to provide some additional tone.
Surgery to implement a Lynx device is minimally invasive and lasts between 30 and 60 minutes. Recovery is swift as patients typically go home the same day and can immediately return to their normal diets.
Who's going to pursue some surgery for their GERD or surgical correction for GERD is generally patients that have severe symptoms and they're not getting the relief from the acid suppressive medications that they would like. After placement of a Lynx device, about 85% of patients will completely get off their acid suppressive medications. As far as symptom control, many patients with GERD have heartburn or regurgitation or pulmonary symptoms, but 99% of patients with a Lynx have no more regurgitation. So if they had regurgitation before, it's gone. 88% of the patients with heartburn no longer have heartburn after a Lynx is placed. So the symptom resolution is excellent.
For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
To learn more about this and other health topics, visit essentia.health.org/medical insight.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Since 6 o'clock, snow totals haven't really changed that much. So roughly our range today ran from 3 inches in Brule just up the road to 6.3 inches in Grandview in Wisconsin and everybody else in between. And there's still a chance for a little more here tonight, probably just flurries. And it could pick up again tomorrow from the second in a long line of low pressure systems. And as those come across, well, the snow chances could keep coming. I'm thinking through about the noon hour on Saturday. After that, it should start to clear up and then it will cool down. Here's what's going on at the airport right now. 19 above, warmest it's been in a couple of days. Nice break there. Still getting a couple of snow flurries like I mentioned. The wind's coming from the north-northwest going 5 miles per hour. Relative humidity, that's up there at 85%. Temperatures right now, thanks to the cloud cover, aren't going to get as cold as they have been past couple of mornings. Look at that, single digits above zero along border country from International Falls through Crane Lake towards Ely. And then once you get to Duluth and Superior, 17 to 19 degrees, 18 in Moose Lake in the middle of the pack, 19 up the North Shore for a good chunk of territory. As cool as 3 in Hayward, though, and as warm as 12 to 16 for the Upper Peninsula. So we can tell winter is here, but again, not as brutally cold. A bit of a nice break, although some folks haven't really enjoyed dealing with the snows and the traffic snarls that they've been bringing. So for the most part, the heavier snows are over, and even that band of lake-enhanced snows is taking a bit of a break, except for just up the shore from Two Harbors. Do drive cautiously everywhere tonight. The roads are less than perfect and likely will stay that way perhaps until Sunday or so, when finally we clear up and dry up and folks can really get out and start to shovel up around the area as well. So that cold air pressure, high air pressure, it's departed and moved away from our region, allowing things to indeed warm up here. But the cloud cover associated with these two low pressure systems, like I mentioned, along with that other one that just came through, keep the snow chance going here, even though we may be getting a bit of a break right now. And by the time we get into perhaps early Sunday morning, snow totals from this next go-around could look like this. We're thinking 1 to 3 inches for a good portion of the region, and indeed a few pockets up the North Shore could go from 3 to even 6, hence that winter storm watch that folks tomorrow night are facing from Two Harbors up towards Grand Marais and even Grand Portage. Snowbelt could pull as many as 7 inches towards Ironwood. Now, forecast tonight in Minnesota says still a 50-50 shot for some more snow showers. Low temps 1 inland to maybe 12 by the lake. 5 to 10 for Wisconsin and Michigan with similar snow chances. Then for tomorrow, another cloudy day, 90% chance for snow returning in the afternoon for Wisconsin and Michigan, highs in the low 20s. Minnesota high temps, upper teens, low 20s with that 90% shot for the snow to return, especially for the North Shore. Keep that in mind. And then it could linger through about the noon hour on Saturday. And finally, the long line of low pressure systems leave Arctic high pressure comes back. Anthony and Kristen back towards sunshine on Sunday. There's 1 point on the positive side. On the negative side, temperatures will become negative again and stay that way perhaps all the way through Wednesday.
All right, thanks, Dave. The Target store in Duluth was filled with firefighters today. Thankfully, they weren't there to battle any flames. They were there shopping for kids.
It's all part of an annual tradition where Duluth firefighters raise thousands of dollars, and then they get to go on a shopping spree buying toys that go to the Salvation Army. CBS 3's Jesse Slater takes us there.
What started off as a challenge from the Duluth Police Department has turned into a 17-year-long annual tradition for the fire department.
I accepted that challenge on behalf of the fire department, and I doubled up on their amount.
Each year, the department raises money for the shopping trip. The toys purchased are donated to the Salvation Army's Toyland Express toy drive.
We split up and find different age groups and different types of toys, and so there's a great variety.
This year, the department had $4,400 to spend.
We've learned to spend $4,000 in toys within about an hour and a half.
The Salvation Army has 969 families signed up to pick up toys. Each kid gets to pick 2, so they would need to collect 3,800 toys.
Toys may not be something that we need for survival, but it is not children's fault if a family is struggling, and they shouldn't bear the burden of a family not having enough money to have a Christmas.
Fire crews shopping while on duty out of the kindness of their hearts.
It's a really great thing that we all really just love and enjoy.
And it's all to make sure every kid has a smile on their face come Christmas morning.
Just so amazing that they get together for the last almost 20 years to do something so special for the kids in the community.
That $4,400 was raised through firefighters' donations throughout the entire year.
All right, Kelly, big night. What night is it?
It's Thursday Night Face-Off. It's Thursday Night Face-Off. The slippery roads didn't stop the high school hockey tonight. We've got a pair of marquee matchups, including CEC Duluth East, as well as Greenway Denfeld, and more coming up next.
Woo.
CBS 3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota. New state-of-the-art dealership. Same President's Award-winning service. KohlerToyota.com.
You could win 5,000 big ones at Fleet Farm in our Big Bucks giveaway. To enter, buy anything online and pick it up in store. Just click it, we'll pick it, and you could win big. Fleet Farm. Gifts are big here.
Extreme speed. Soar from 60 meg up to 1 gig. Extreme Wi-Fi 360. It's 360 degrees of coverage and a whole new way to Wi-Fi. Extreme power. Streaming so real you can feel it. Feel it. Extreme reliability. Because your life depends on it.
Join fellow ice anglers and winter enthusiasts in Duluth when Eskimo presents the Arrowhead Ice Fishing and Winter Show. Shop the season's top brands, newest technology, and one-of-a-kind products at the biggest sale of the year. Get fishing tips from pros Tackle Terry Tuma, Mr. Bluegill Troy Peterson, and more. Fish for trout at the frozen basin and win prizes. Bring the family to the Alaskan Grizzly Bear exhibit starting Friday at the Deck in Duluth. Details at mniceshow.com.
It's a holiday hoopla now through December 25th at Duluth Casino. Every Wednesday and Thursday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., including Christmas Day, 25 names will be randomly drawn to play for holiday cash and prizes. You could jump into the money booth, play the disco board, or take a spin on the big prize wheel. Stop by the Players Club or log on to FonduluthCasino.com for all the participation details. Wednesdays and Thursdays, come in for the games, cash, and prizes at the holiday hoopla and
have a great time out at Fondulu.
Welcome to Toyotathon.
Hey.
Ready for a great deal?
You know it.
With savings on Camry, RAV4, Highlander, and more, it really is the most magical time of the year. Can you pretend you didn't see this?
But I'm seeing it.
Right now, during Toyotathon, you can get 0% APR financing for 60 months on a spacious new 2019 Toyota Highlander.
You never know what you'll find at Toyotathon. Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Fleet Farm has every gift for every list. We've got the biggest selection and the biggest savings on everything they're big into. Like for the person who's big into building, get a DeWalt Mechanics tool set for just $119.99. Fleet Farm. Gifts are big here.
Get your new air and snow blower from Duluth Lawn and Sport.
My 95.7 is the Northland's best variety all day. From Ed Sheeran and Maroon 5 to Lady Gaga and Bryan Adams. Always family and office friendly. My 95.7, your life, your music.
Welcome into another exciting edition of Thursday Night Face-Off. I'm your host, Kelly Hinseth. You may notice I am sitting down this week. They gave me a chair. I'm pretty excited. And I'm pretty excited because we've got a lot of quality matchups to get to tonight, so we're not wasting any time. We start down the road at the Heritage Center. This one originally rescheduled because of all that snow we had a few weeks ago. Duluth-Denfeld hosting Greenway. Denfeld hoping to take down the reigning second-place finishers at state tournament. Just under 4 minutes into the first, the Raiders strike first as Ty Donahue gets this one to go. Raiders take a 1-0 lead. Hunters have a response in the form of brothers Cooper and Connor McClure. Connor feeds it to Cooper, who nets the one-timer. That knots it up at 1. And I swear I didn't just copy and paste the highlight we just showed. Still in the first, Connor to Cooper to the back of the net. Denfeld has the 2-1 lead heading into the third, and Denfeld goes on to score 2 more. That's 4 unanswered goals for the Hunters in the second and third. Big win for them as they top Greenway 4-1 the final. And it's one of those nights when you just can't quite decide what matchup you want to lead with. For tonight, I literally just flipped a coin. So this one deserves just as much attention, of course. Cloquet Esco Carleton hosting Duluth East. I really did flip a coin, by the way. Scoreless until the late into the first period. Greyhounds rush toward the net, and Nolan Aleph gets the backhander to go. Duluth East quickly takes a 1-0 lead to the second. Here come the Lumberjacks. Christian Galatz is fed out front and finishes, knotting the game at 1. He was not finished because a little over a minute later, Galatz on the breakaway puts it right past the blocker of the goalie. It's now 2-1 Lumberjacks, but Duluth East, oh, they don't back down. Garrett Johnson blasts this one off the pipe and in. We're tied once again. CEC would go on to win this one in overtime. Talk about revenge of the Lumberjacks. Up on the range, a rivalry game that will be disappearing soon on My 9, Virginia and Evelyn Gilbert. Golden Bears up 2-1 in the second. Blue Devils down a man on a 5-minute major. Nick Bodette with a great chance in front, but Ian Congas is there. Virginia kills it off to stay in the game, but in the third, Evelyn Gilbert puts it away. Nick Trotwine gets his own rebound. 3-1 with just under 10 minutes to go. Time winding down now. A pass gets away, and Will Trotwine comes up with it, up to Elliot Van Orsdel, and that is it. The Golden Bears improved to 5-3. They win it 4-1 the final. And some more boys hockey action, this time from across the bridge, as North Shore takes on Superior. In the first, it's Superior's Gunnar Hansen with a nifty toe drag move around the defender, but Connor Sullivan is there to keep the game scoreless. Still in the first, puck on net from the point, and it's Drew Nelson who picks up the rebound and goes 5-0. Spartans take a 1-0 lead. To the second now, Hansen would not be denied this time. He gets the feed in front from Nelson to give the Spartans a 2-0 lead. It was all Spartans tonight. They go on to get a few more. They win it 5-0, the final. And games that were just a little out of our realm of driving distance up in International Falls. Broncos get the 4-2 win as they hosted Proctor. It's going to be a long drive home for the Rails. Drive safely. High-scoring game for Kristen Baki's Hibbing Chisholm Blue Jackets. They edge out Moose Lake with the 6-5 win as well. Well, coming up, we still got more to come, including a look at the latest Let's Play Hockey rankings. Plus, we'll revisit some of the great matchups from earlier this week as well. That includes the #1 ranked Hermantown Hawks. Stick around. Thursday Night Face-Off continues after this.
Thursday Night Face-Off is brought to you by Essentia Health.
Give the gift of comfort this holiday season from Schneiderman's Furniture. Save up to $200 on any stressless purchase when you make a charitable donation of $50. Plus, 48 months special financing at Schneiderman's Furniture.
Introducing the completely reimagined 2020 Ford Explorer. With 7 terrain management drive modes, it's perfect for families who like to go all out for the holidays. Or throw cranberry sauce on a plate and call it a day. Ford Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV, built for the holidays.
During the Ford Built for the Holidays event, get over $6,800 in total savings on the all-new 2020 Explorer. Only at your Northland Ford dealers.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because this, it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
Water makes life possible on Earth and in our homes. Culligan conserves this resource with its high-efficiency water softener, the world's best because it uses less water, and that matters to all of us. Click or call Culligan Water and start saving today.
Bart picks me up when I call.
It gives me my mobility back.
It gets me from school.
It gets me to my appointments.
It gets me to class.
It gets me to practice.
And it helps me do my holiday shopping.
The bus is always warm.
At Bay Area Rural Transit, we have over 82,000 reasons to ride. One for every person who lives here.
Because Mike Bloomberg helped close hundreds of polluting plants, fewer kids will suffer asthma attacks. Because Mike helped pass laws reducing teen smoking and vaping, fewer kids will become addicted to nicotine. And because Mike helped pass laws keeping guns away from domestic abusers, fewer families will fall victim to gun violence. Mike's always fought for America's future, which is why he's fighting the very biggest threat to it.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Schneiderman's helps you celebrate life's outrageous moments. More room for the king of the castle. Try the new Tempur-Pedic Breeze. Get $300 bonus cash and a 365-night comfort trial only at Schneiderman Sleep.
Welcome back into Thursday Night Face-Off. Now, of course, these rankings are bound to change many more times throughout the hockey season, but we're going to take a look at the latest Let's Play Hockey rankings in boys Class AA. The lone team from the Northland, check them out, Grand Rapids. They crack the top 10 at number 5 this week. Moving to Class A, Hermantown hails at the number 1 spot. Duluth Denfeld sits at number 8. I have a feeling that's going to change after tonight. Evelyn Gilbert and Greenway also crack the poll at 12 and 15 respectively. As for girls Class AA, Grand Rapids Greenway barely cracks the poll, but they're in there at number 19. And for Class A, Cloquet Esco Carleton checks in at number 6, and then they're followed by Proctor Hermantown at number 7. Duluth Marshall also comes in at number 11, so not a bad representation. Well, that does it for tonight's matchups, but we did have a few from earlier this week that are very worth revisiting. Girls hosting Evelyn Gilbert. We just talked about them in the third. Mirage already leading 9-1. They certainly put Evelyn Gilbert's Rachel Woods to work in goal for the Golden Bears. She makes the stop in the third. At this point, she had made 46 saves on the night, but the floodgates were already wide open for Proctor Hermantown. Sydney Scorch nets the Mirage's 10th goal of the evening. They go on to get 2 more in the third to win it, 12-1 the final. Well, the Hermantown boys hockey team was off this evening. The Hawks had no problem, though, taking care of business against Duluth Marshall on their home ice the other night. It was the marquee matchup of Tuesday night as number 1 ranked Hermantown welcomed in Duluth Marshall. Hermantown puts the shots on early. Sam Anderson puts a stop to him. 11 saves for him in the first. A few get through, though. Hawks' Zach Kylan nets one with a quick flip. Makes it 1-0 Hermantown. They get one more on net before the period ends. This time, it's going to be Blake Biondi all in his lonesome. Goes top right corner for the sweet shot. makes it 2-0 heading into the first intermission. Hermantown goes on to win 10-0 the final. Now, the name Biondi, if you pay attention to high school hockey in the Northland, is one that you probably know very well. If you don't, here's a brief history. Blake is returning for his senior season, where a lot of guys in his situation would have maybe gone straight to juniors. Biondi is a UMD commit. But as head coach Pat Andrews says, if you know Blake, it isn't surprising that he made the choice to come back. This is where Blake wanted to be. And that is a decision that certainly his teammates, the Hawks, are grateful for.
It's a special group of guys, and yeah, obviously Hermantown, this team hasn't been like this in a while because obviously we lost and we didn't get the state. So now it's going to trek back for sure, and it's the target's not on our back, so it's definitely a positive in my perspective.
Every year he's taken steps in his growth, leaps and bounds like crazy, from when I had him as a first-year Bantam to his second-year Bantams, and then into his sophomore year where he was bona fide one of our top 3 scorers as a sophomore, played a ton of minutes. It's just been every year he's taken a leap. He loves to play when the game means the most, when the lights are brightest. I joke around that he has hockey ADHD because he never stops moving. He sees the ice in a different way than a lot of people.
Forgot to mention, Biondi had a hat trick the other night. Hermantown welcomes in Totino Grace out of the Twin Cities tomorrow night. Puck drop set for 7:30 p.m. And the Wild in action tonight, taking on Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. First period, they're in a 1-0 hole until former Bulldog Carson Soucy rips a shot from the point. We're tied. Soucy was +4 on the night. In the second, the Wild put it in gear. Ryan Donato in with Parisi, decides to find his own lane. Minnesota takes a 4-2 lead, but it's never over when you're playing this guy. Leads the NHL in points for a reason. That's Connor McDavid, by the way. He ties it up at 4, but Minnesota wasn't about to give up their 11-game home point streak. Eric Stahl lights the lamp 3 minutes later. Wild edge out Edmonton. 6-5 the final. That's going to do it for Thursday Night Face-Off. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 Closed Captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. May hope brighten your holiday and inspire you in the new year. Happy holidays from Essentia Health.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV.
Well, I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD. And we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that. Plus, sometimes in the rain, our services go out.
Because of the dish on your roof?
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-916-4499.
And Spectrum Internet starts at 100 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-916-4499.
Get ready for a weekend of fun when Eskimo presents the Arrowhead Ice Fishing and Winter Show.
Look, Dad, we can fish for prizes.
Fish for rainbow trout at the frozen basin and win prizes and certificates valued at over $10,000. Visit the live educational Alaskan Grizzly Bear Show and exhibit.
Mom, this is cool.
Get your free photo inside the life-size snow globe. Get tips at the Icebox from top pros Tackle Terry Tuma and more. Family fun starts this Friday at the Deck in Duluth. MNIceShow.com.
At Papa Murphy's, put your sweatpants on, turn your oven on, and get your garlic on. Because right now you can get a large chicken garlic pizza for just $10. Your night is on. We make it, you bake it. Papa Murphy's.
Get out and experience the great outdoors this winter with gear from your friends at Continental Ski and Bike. Continental has Alpine, Nordic, and fat biking gear for the whole family. Looking to tune your current gear? Let Continental technicians tune up your skis for your next adventure.
At Chevy, we're all about bringing families together.
This time of year, that's really important.
That's why our Chevy employee discount is now available to everyone.
The Chevy price you pay is what we pay.
Not a cent more.
Family is important to us.
So happy holidays and welcome to the family.
The Chevy family.
Use your Chevy employee discount for everyone to get over $6,100 below MSRP on this Equinox. Visit TrueNorthChevyDealers.com.
Men's Wardrobe by Mainstream Fashions for Men. The annual gift giver sale is going on now through December 31st. Mainstream. Open Sundays noon to 4 until Christmas.
Well, folks, thank you so much for joining me tonight on this Thursday Night Face-Off. Hope you join us again next week. Good night.